men's restroom at Hartsfield International Airport. 1995. A man in a pressed suit locks himself into a stall. In his hand, a sealed corporate envelope, tamper-proof, stamped with a hologram no forger has ever managed to fake. He isn't a forger. He doesn't need to be. He has an identical sticker sitting in his breast pocket, one he had made himself. He opens the seal. Inside, the winning piece for a $1 million McDonald's Monopoly prize. He pockets it. He reseals the envelope with his own sticker. In under a minute, it's done. He walks out, washes his hands, and catches his flight. His name is Jerome Jacobson. By the time the FBI understood what they were looking at, Jerome Jacobson had done this hundreds of times. Over 12 years, he would siphon more than $24 million out of the most trusted fast food promotion in America, without breaking into anything, without hacking anything, without a single alarm ever going off. He didn't defeat the security system. He was the security system. Hollywood, Florida, late 1970s. Jerome Paul Jacobson wanted one thing: to be a police officer. He joined the Hollywood Police Department. He wore the badge. He worked the beat. Then, in 1980, an on-the-job injury ended it. He was discharged. The badge was gone. The identity he'd built his adult life around, gone with it. Most men rebuild quietly. Jacobson rebuilt smart. He took a job as a security auditor for a printing and promotions company, then climbed into a role overseeing production for its biggest client account, Simon Marketing, the agency McDonald's paid to run its national promotional games. By the late 1980s, he was in charge of the physical chain of custody for every high-value game piece McDonald's would ever print. He was, on paper, the most trustworthy man in the building. He was hired, specifically, explicitly, to make sure no one could ever steal a winning ticket. He was the fox, and McDonald's had just handed him the henhouse. To understand what Jacobson did, you have to understand what he built. Because the same man who ran the scam also designed the system meant to prevent it. He personally oversaw the tamper-evident seals used on every shipment. Seals engineered to visibly shatter the moment anyone tried to remove them. He controlled who was allowed near a winning piece, and for how long. No single employee was ever left alone with one. That was the countermeasure. Here is the blind spot. The seals could catch anyone who tampered with an envelope in transit between two checkpoints. They said nothing about what happened at the one checkpoint no one else was watching. The man carrying the envelope himself, alone, between the printing plant and the plane. He didn't need to beat the system. He needed one location where no camera and no colleague could follow him. He found it in an airport bathroom. The mechanics were almost insultingly simple. Jacobson traveled with the winning pieces personally, a security measure meant to protect them. En route, he'd stop. A bathroom stall, a parked car. He'd open the seal, remove the winning piece, and reseal the envelope using an identical sticker he'd had made for himself. Minutes, start to finish. No one else touched the envelope until it reached the retail counter. On paper, the chain of custody was airtight. He didn't sell the first ticket to a stranger. He gave it to someone he trusted completely. Family. It worked. Nothing happened. No alarm. No phone call. No FBI. If it worked once, it would work again. And again. For 12 years. It's worth pausing here. Because what Jacobson built is the structural opposite of almost every criminal enterprise in American fiction. Walter White, in Breaking Bad, builds his empire out of desperation. Cancer, no savings, a family depending on him. He has to source chemicals himself, build labs himself, launder his own money while hiding from an agency actively hunting him. Everything is built against total resistance. Jacobson had the precise inverse. He didn't need to build a lab. McDonald's had already built the entire supply chain and put him at the head of it. He didn't need to launder anything. Every prize he stole was paid out through legitimate channels, with legitimate tax paperwork, by a company that had no idea it was paying its own thief. He didn't need to evade law enforcement. He was former law enforcement, and knew exactly what an investigator would look for, because he'd been trained to look for it too. Walter White built an empire against the system. Jerome Jacobson built his inside of one, using its own machinery to disguise it. A one-time theft is a crime. A 12-year operation is a business. And and Jacobson built one in stages. Stage 1 was family. Simple, low risk, easy to control. Stage 2 solved a scaling problem. Family alone couldn't absorb enough winning tickets without the pattern becoming obvious. So Jacobson recruited further out, always in person, always in remote locations, never over a phone that could be tapped. His circle would eventually include a psychic reader working out of a Florida strip mall, a Mormon family in South Carolina, strip club operators, and men with reported ties to organized crime, each brought in to distribute prizes across geography and background wide enough that no single cluster would stand out. Stage 3 solved a problem. Stage 2 couldn't. Trust at scale. Recruiting is instinct, but organized distribution needs infrastructure. People willing to move cash quietly, absorb risk, and stay silent under pressure. That is precisely what organized crime already had built, and precisely what Jacobson's later stage network began to resemble. The instructions to each new recruit were almost always the same, delivered quietly, never in front of witnesses. Take the ticket, mail it to McDonald's in Chicago, pass their check, go on television if they ask, hold the giant check, smile, thank them, then send my percentage back to me, in cash. Some winners mortgaged their own homes in the days before their win, using the loan to pay Jacobson his cut before the official prize money ever arrived. A detail that would later become one of the clearest fingerprints of the fraud. Here is the part that should have been impossible to miss. McDonald's ran heartwarming commercials during prime time. A grandfather from Georgia had just won $1 million. A single mother in the Midwest could finally pay off her house. The cameras loved it. The company's brand goodwill climbed with every tearful acceptance. Except almost none of it was real. Every major winner had been handpicked by the one man who controlled which pieces entered the supply chain in the first place. Picture it running in parallel. A manufactured winner, crying on camera at a press event, holding an oversized novelty check, while, the same week, in a parked car a few states away, Jerome Jacobson counts his cut of that exact prize in cash. McDonald's was, unknowingly, laundering its own fraud through its own marketing department, turning stolen money into heartwarming television, one prize at a time. For a scheme this large to survive over a decade, it needed something more valuable than good security: silence. That silence broke over a car. In 1996, one of Jacobson's recruited winners had been promised a piece good for a Dodge Viper. Whether from guilt, greed, or a falling out over the split, that person eventually became the tip that reached the FBI. In March of 2000, an anonymous call came in, naming a man known only as Uncle Jerry. The tip claimed he was rigging McDonald's national promotions and that a previous $1 million winner had been a fraud. Would anyone at the FBI take a tip about a board game seriously? Special Agent Richard Dent did. Dent opened a formal investigation. He named it Operation Final Answer, a nod to another McDonald's promotion Jacobson was separately rigging, tied to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. A single wiretap on Jacobson's phone was supposed to confirm a small, contained tip. Instead, it exposed an empire. 25 agents, 20,000 phone numbers tracked, 235 cassette tapes of recorded calls. Within weeks, the FBI understood that Uncle Jerry wasn't a lone con man. He was the center of a distribution network stretching across half a dozen states. There was a problem. If agents grabbed one winner too early, the rest of the network would scatter, destroy evidence, disappear. So the FBI made an unusual request. Keep the contest running. Let every fraudulent winner keep stepping forward. In public, on camera, while agents quietly built the map underneath them, using wiretaps, financial records, and a pattern they now knew to look for. A mortgage taken out days before a lucky win. McDonald's agreed. For months, the company kept paying out prizes it now knew were stolen, all to let the FBI finish the picture. On August 21, 2001, the FBI moved. Agents arrested 8 people across 6 states: Linda and Dwight Baker, John Davis, Andrew Glom, Michael Hoover, Ronald Hughey, Brenda Phoenix, and finally, Jerome Jacobson himself. Then Attorney General John Ashcroft told the country that the scheme had denied ordinary customers a fair and equal chance of winning, that a promotion trusted by millions of Americans had, for over a decade, been rigged from the inside by the one man paid to protect it. By the time prosecutors finished tracing the network, more than 50 people had been convicted of fraud and conspiracy. The total take? Over $24 million in cash and prizes across 12 years. Jacobson's trial began on September 10, 2001. The next morning, the country's attention moved elsewhere, and the biggest game fraud case in American history quietly disappeared from the headlines. In 2003, Jerome Jacobson was sentenced to 37 months in federal prison and ordered to repay $12.5 million in restitution. The Hollywood police force lost a young officer to injury in 1980. What it produced instead was a man who understood, better than almost anyone alive, exactly how to build a system no one could steal from, and exactly how to be the one exception to his own rules. Jerome Jacobson never broke a lock, cracked a safe, or defeated a single piece of technology. He simply noticed, correctly, that the most secure system in the world has exactly one vulnerability: the person trusted to guard it. For 12 years, nobody thought to check the fox.